Infestation, Rat King, and the Mothman! Oh, baby! Bang! Central!
What up, MetaZoo Maniacs and Cryptic Campers? Today is December 5th, 2025, and this is going to be a long video. We're going to go on a wild ride, and it's going to be a lot of fun. And for anyone in Discord that thinks I only nitpick at new MetaZoo, if you go back into my channel, late 2023, early 2024, I made plenty of videos talking about how much Mike Waddell, and especially Andy, how much he absolutely sucked. And that was before they filed for bankruptcy. But anyways, let's get to this interesting auction really quick here. So we got Slide Rock Bolter, Kickstarter, Full Hollow, PSA 10 in auction for $215. Now, I'm not saying there's people that shill bid in MetaZoo because that'd be really weird, but check this out. So in auction it's at $215, right? Kickstarter, Full Hollow, Slide Rock, Bolter, PSA 10, right? That's it. That's all it is, right? Well, that's really weird since there's a Full Hollow Kickstarter Slide Rock Bolter PSA 10 with an authentic auto by Poncho that you could buy for $139 or best offer accepted. So why is this one so high in auction? And just so people know, I'm not playing favorites to old MetaZoo and everything and that I'm only hating on new MetaZoo. Trust me, Slide Rock Bolter sucked. Lizardman sucked. Now we have Lizardman in auction for $225. That doesn't even make sense. The Kickstarter Full Hollow PSA 10, this makes no sense. And then we have Earth's Core Kickstarter Full Hollow PSA 10 at $217 in auction. That makes even less sense. Why did all that not make too much sense? Because there's a Sam Sinclair Kickstarter PSA 10 only at $215. Now even this is crazy for Sam Sinclair nowadays. But you're telling me Slide Rock Bolter and Lizardman are in the same league as Sam Sinclair? I don't think so. So I don't know. I'm not saying there's some shill bidding or some weird shenanigans going on, but all these Kickstarter cards are selling for way more in auction than you would think. Anyways, let's go check out some Secret Shadows. So we know back on November 30th, selling for about $62.69 in auction. Then also on November 30th, it was selling for $54 a box. Then it went down to $51 a box. Oh, this is actually 2 days before that. That's November 28th. And then December 1st, we're up to $53. Oh, we're going up to $59. It's the rise of the broom. Oh, look at this. December 2nd, we're up to $63.99. But oh no, December 4th, we're down to $49. We broke the $50 barrier. We're going the wrong way. Now, is this the broom's fault? No. It is the complete lack of top 3-star hits you can pull. And before I get to the rest of the video, I just want everyone to understand, when I am critiquing new MetaZoo or old MetaZoo or anything, I look at it like a sports team. So, you know, when you go to your local sports game, whether it's hockey, baseball, football, basketball, whatever, if you're there at the game and the coach is keeping some of the star players on the bench that you paid good money to go see play, and for no reason that coach is just, I don't know, maybe it's not a good coach. He's putting other players out. I don't know what he's doing. Maybe it's fixed. You know what I mean? It's some rigged gambling behind the scenes. Who knows? But if you're in the crowd and you see the star players you wanted to see play, not on the court, not on the rink, not on the field, you're going to get a little frustrated. You'll be like, hey, I came to see the star players play and our team's losing, right? Well, that's MetaZoo, so the team's MetaZoo. The star players are like Wendigo, Bunnyman, Grim Reaper, and you know, a ton more. So maybe it's not even MetaZoo's fault. Maybe it's just like whoever's in charge of what cryptids get put into the sets in certain rarity levels. Maybe that person needs a little fresh cakes treatment. Anyways, let's get back to the eBay sales of the week. Hey, we got Torrential Tides, everyone's favorite MetaZoo set from the new MetaZoo. $55.03. And there's more than 10 available. These are cheap as balls. And they have the good legendary rares, and it's still one of the cheapest sets. And if you don't want to pay $50, well, 1 penny less, you can get them for $49.99 over here at the Yasawi group. They got more than 10 available at $50 each. And if you thought Secret Shadows breaking the $50 barrier is crazy, look at this. Torrential Tides, $36 in auction for a box. Here we had another auction for 2 Torrential Tide boxes for $84. And even a box of base set for $39 in auction. So you want to buy stuff for cheap, but if it gets too cheap, you're going to be looking at this. Look at this, a case of UFO, $57.50, which is quite a lot. That's quite a bit of money. At one point, these were selling for $6 to $12 on Gwoat. And they still have a ton of these, like pallets of these at Footballer Pete. And for anyone think I only take shots at the new MetaZoo, I mean, look at old MetaZoo. This is Nightfall. Like a fan favorite set from the OG MetaZoo 4 years ago. Selling for absolutely dirt. Like, way worse than new MetaZoo. What is this? $58 American for 6 booster boxes of Nightfall. That's less than $10 a booster box. But this might be a reason why the new MetaZoo is suffering so bad too. Because what you'd rather buy? 1 box of Secret Shadows or 6 boxes of Nightfall. Imagine where new MetaZoo would be if we lived in a world where they didn't release all that inventory and they just found a way just to pay for the storage, or I don't know, maybe the numbers had to come out anyways with the bankruptcy letter. I have no idea, but hey, it's the Black Friday promo Bigfoot PSA 10. Selling for, what is that? $11.83 in the auction? This is one card in MetaZoo that's never had any other grade than a PSA 10. 17 sent in, 17 PSA 10s. Normally I save cards like this for the end of the video, but these cards have been popping up so often, no one's paying for them, so I don't even know what they're really selling for. Whatever the auction ends at, you would think would be the final sale, but this Loveland Frogman sample card, EGS 8.5, has been popping up too many times. So this time it's sold for $710.39. I can't wait to see what it sells for next week or the week after that. The sample Mothman, well below $1,000, $842.29. That is insane. Yes, it's a Beckett 8.5, but it's a sample Mothman. That is insane. Anyone that's been around in MetaZoo for like a year or two, especially 4 years, knows that is insane. That is a sample Mothman. It don't even matter the condition. The fact that it's well below even $900 is absolutely insane. And no one's paying for it. This is another card that's in auction like every week. And then we got the golden ticket, once again in auction. Who knows if it's going to get paid for this time. So this time it sold for $1,319 in auction. What else we got here? Hey, we got a Wendigo, hidden rare. $200 or best offer accepted. So now in my last video, the Wendigo sold for $270 in auction. And then there's another one just chilling on eBay for $200 or best offer accepted. And nobody's touching it. Oh, here's another auction that ended from that borderline shady auction. Now, I'm not saying Swagnar 24 is shady, but $200 American for a PSA 10 Kickstarter Death Beam? Really? Like, not in today's market. Maybe 2 years ago this made sense, but that makes no sense. And it's part of the same auctions as this, like the Forest God's Amber, $215. Like, really? Like, how come all these Kickstarter ones are up to about the same amount, right? And then we have this one again, $215, coincidentally, $225. And then the Slide Rock Bolter also at $215. I mean, I don't know who's doing these bids on these auctions, but I mean, when the prices are all exactly the same, $215 for 3 of them and then $225 for 1 of them. Meanwhile, the exact same card with an actual autograph authenticated on it is $139 or best offer accepted. That makes no sense. Oh, look at this. Sam Sinclair's $215. So 4 of the cards in these auctions right now are all at $215, which is way more than these Kickstarter cards would be normally selling for. Oh, and what a surprise. In the same auctions from Swagnar, $217.50, so right around that $215 mark for a Walking Sam Kickstarter PSA 10. Meanwhile, from the same seller, and this is getting really weird, on November 28th, there's a Snallygaster Kickstarter Full Hollow PSA 10 for only $15.50. But meanwhile, those other ones are selling for $215 in auction still. And then we had a Phoenix Rain Kickstarter PSA 10, only $10.50. But then, also by Swagnar, there's a Babe the Blue Ox Kickstarter Full Hollow PSA 10 for $305.99. And then you might be thinking, well, what about the big hitters like Loveland Frogman and Mothman? Well, Kickstarter Loveland Frogman PSA 10 on December 3rd, so like 2 days ago, for only $113.50. So, but it's not the same seller though. This is XX Savage. So isn't it weird that Swagnar is having Lizardman and Slide Rock Bolter selling for $215 and the auctions aren't over yet? But Loveland Frogman from a different seller is only selling for $113.50? I have no idea what's going on. And then even crazier, Kickstarter Full Hollow Mothman PSA 10 for only $224.50? Meanwhile, Lizardman is already at $225 in auction? So anyways, that's my evidence that something weird's going on with these auctions, because if the big one, Mothman Kickstarter PSA 10 full holo is only selling for $224 in auction, literally 2 days ago on December 3rd, then why would Lizardman be even near that price? You know what I mean? Oh man, another reason why I knew MetaZoo is in trouble. I mean, this is the craziest Piazza bird, and trust me, I'm not just biased to old MetaZoo. I think this is the nicest Piazza bird ever in all of MetaZoo. It is my favorite. Even over the Hero Quest Piazza bird, the OG Piazza bird, over the hidden rare Piazza bird, even over the native Piazza bird. This is my favorite right here. Only $140.50 now in auction. And holy moly, the shadow rare Bigfoot. I mean, I know it's a PSA 9, but they just don't grade that well, these cards, and they're almost impossible to get. It's only from the Poncho box. That's the Bigfoot. Only $134.50 in auction. Like, these Poncho shadow rares are some of the most legendary cards there will ever be in the new MetaZoo, and they're selling for steals of a deal. This is pretty wild. The Mothbrion PSA 10, $400 in auction. Don't forget, 7 months ago, this card sold raw for $1,025. Now it's a PSA 10, only $400 in auction. Hey, I picked up this card in Canada. Full holo Bigfoot, not Kickstarter PSA 10. But hey, picked it up for $16 and what is that, 12 cents? And look at Sun Wukong, Shadow Rare PSA 9, only $160 as a buy now. Now let's get back to Secret Shadows. We got a Mothman, the Batman. Well, yeah, I guess it's the Bat Mothman. Under the Bridge, only $30 in auction on December 2nd. And then there's another PSA 10 Mothbrion for only $3.95 in auction. But meanwhile, I am 100% wrong so far about these legendary caster cards. I thought they were going to be selling for like $10, $15, but $86 for the Wagyu. Shoot, for $86, we may as well do an up-close look here. I believe, is that Awful in the background here? I mean, it's pretty badass artwork. This might be the nicest one out of all of them. Meanwhile, we had a Black Mass Skateboard Revive promo card for only $10 in auction. What the heck? Where was that in the Secret Shadows? That would have been crazy if they had some crazy texturized card of this. This is absolutely nuts. But hey, this is why we love the old MetaZoo. Old MetaZoo had balls, man. They took some risks. Like, this is crazy, this artwork. Hey, we got 2 boxes of Secret Shadows selling for $123.19 in auction. And a lot of 4 boxes of Secret Shadows sold for $225.19. What scares me when you see lots of 2 or lots of 4 and all that, it makes me wonder if someone already pulled the hidden rare from that case and was like, you know what, I'm just going to sell the rest of the boxes for whatever I can get for them. Oh, remember this Card Pro magazine, and it had the MetaZoo magazine in it, and it was like all the rage. I don't know what the rest of the world thought of the Card Pro magazine. I'll be honest, I thought it was pretty awesome. If you look through this magazine, it's full of a lot of cool facts and a lot of good stuff to read. It's actually a really good magazine. But nonetheless, the secondary market does not care. Now you can buy them for $18 each, and if you buy 4 or more, you can get them for $15.12 each. And that comes with everything. It comes with all these promo packs, like this Alpha deck. It's got 1 pack of Pokemon. It's got this other card here, and the Alpha promo deck for MetaZoo. Oh man, this just hurts my brain. This Loveland Frogman card used to be so expensive. Like, just raw copies would have sold for over $200-300 each. Well over $200 for sure. A CGC Gem 10, only $11.50. Oh man, this just hurts to look at. MetaZoo Topps Chrome Alternate Art Mothman PSA 10 Refractor. These are hard to get as PSA 10s. Only $11.50. Oh man, this is crazy. Only $11.19 for the original art Mothman MetaZoo Topps Chrome Refractor PSA 10. Look at this. There's 57 sent in and only 13 PSA 10s, but it's selling for only $11.19. I mean, besides Kickstarter, I would say MetaZoo Topps Chrome has been hit the hardest with secondary loss of value. Their secondary market loss in value. It is insane how cheap MetaZoo Topps Chrome sells for now. But then we have this Mothman from the Kickstarter, the second Kickstarter of MetaZoo. The King Mothman, Mothman to Arms. PSA 10 sold for $100 in auction. Hey, it's a Loveland Frogman from the Christmas Pin Club promo. $22.50 in auction. Another Loveland Frogman from the 2022 Christmas set. $30 as a PSA 10. And then we have a regular playing card from the World Poker Tour MetaZoo decks. Like the original, not the in-house MetaZoo one. only $6.50 as a PSA 10. Look at the population report. 24 sent in and 23 PSA 10s. And then we have the King of Spades, exact same price, $6.50 for the PSA 10, 40 sent in, 33 PSA 10s. And then we had Loveland Frogman from the Revived Skateboards Redemption. So this one wasn't redeemable, but PSA 10, nice card, only $19.50. And then the Loveland Frogman from the Bear Walker Skateboards, the promo card, only $23.50 as a PSA 10. And another one sold by Nick Strength and Pokemon, we have the Dim Mock. Man, he's selling all his favorite cards. What the heck? So this is a scratched variation of, or no, it's not scratched. Sorry, this is the Dim Mock Rug promo. So it's serialized down here out of 125. See if we get right on in there. I think that's 58 out of 125. PSA 10, really unique card. You don't see that too often. Only $64 in auction. Then we have my favorite card from Wilderness, the eBay stamped variation, PSA 10. Only $14.50. And then we have the Queen of Hearts Mothman, PSA 10, the promo card, only $24.50 in auction. Meanwhile, the King of Hearts sold for $100, as you've seen earlier. So this is the very first Pin Club Mothman, PSA 10, $52 in auction. And then we have the Mothman from the Nightfall Pin Club, PSA 10, $32 in auction. Holy moly, Nick Strength and Pokemon selling all his Mothman and Loveland Frogman cards. So here we have Magicast, which is what MetaZoo was called before they called it MetaZoo. So it was Magicast originally. This is from the Metapoo set, $34.33. Another card from Nick Strength and Pokemon. So the Mothbrion, PSA 9, $227.50 in auction. Then we have a Wendigo full holo from Pin Club, PSA 10, only $12.50. Hey, we got a Rat King, PSA 10, $52 in auction, not bad. And then we have the Native Piazza Bird, PSA 10 for only $45 in auction. And definitely one of the best Piazza Bird artworks ever. Oh, we got 4 boxes of MetaZoo Cryptonation 2nd edition for $7.50. Now there were some auctions for 4 of these boxes for around $23. This is just the lowest one. Absolutely insane. And look what we got here. Sun Wukong, PSA 10, hidden rare. Only $152.50. You remember, that's a PSA 10. There's 20 sent in and only 7 PSA 10s. And I don't know if anyone forgets, but this is one of the craziest artworks and color, like everything, in all of the new MetaZoo. This is absolutely crazy how good this card looks. Oh, and I forgot this auction in last week's video, but a sample Sam Sinclair PSA 9 sold for $224.50. And here we have Mothman, PSA 10, green refractor, serialized out of 99, only $137.85 for the Mothman. That is crazy. And then we have the reverse holo Kickstarter Mothman, PSA 10, only $172.50 in auction. I'm honestly surprised this card sold as much as it did. But we have the 2023 Mothman Festival promo card, PSA 10, sold for $202.50 in auction. And honestly, I'm surprised this card sold for as much as it did. The 2022 Mothman Festival promo card, crazy history to this card if anyone's been around long enough. $425 in auction as a PSA 10. I wonder if that's going to get paid for. That is way more than I would have thought this would have sold for. Way more. And then, can we have maybe a moment of silence for Kickstarter? Holy moly! $325? Please someone comment below. Let me know who bought this, just so I could pin your comment. Just, if you bought this box, comment below that you are the champion of the fucking world. Or something. Like, write something crazy and I'll pin it to the top. Because we need to know who bought a Kickstarter booster box for $325. Let us know if it was real, if it was empty or not. That is crazy. If you got a sealed Kickstarter booster box of Cryptonation for $325, I mean, I just want to raise your hand in victory. That is crazy. And holy moly, Red Ink Gem Mint 9.5 from Beckett. I mean, look at the subgrades. Pretty good. And that's Red Ink. Only $610. That is absolutely wild how cheap that is. And then we have the King of Kings and the new MetaZoo. There will never be a card that will ever hold as much value as the OG Mothman from base set, especially as a PSA 10. Sold for $1,825 on the dot. Holy moly. Okay, now let's throw some random auctions in. Maybe some are sold, some are not sold. We got a Grim Reaper, hidden rare. Absolutely sweet card. I wish I had a Grim Reaper with the baby though. $500 or best offer accepted, not sold yet. Here we got the 3-star Mothman from base set. Catch 'em all collectibles has 6 of them at $31.98 each, or best offer accepted. This is one of my favorite cards in Secret Shadows. The Symphony of Shadows, only $21.50 in auction. As you can see right here, this is MetaZoo.tcg.com. Yeah, there's actually a story to go with this artwork, so if anyone wants to check it out, go ahead. Next we have the Rat King 3-star alternate art. $39.99 or best offer accepted. I looked it up, it sold for $30. I mean, absolutely crazy artwork. Next we have a case of base set, sold for $630. Buy it now. And next we have the Underworld 3-star rarity card. Now this is what I'm talking about, $8.50. That's already under a $10 card. And then we had 2 Black Cat hidden rares sold. So on December 3rd, one sold for $350, best offer accepted. And another one on December 3rd sold for $150, best offer accepted. And then remember those 2 Mothbrion PSA 10s? One sold for what, $400 in auction, one sold for $395. Well, here on December 4th, it looks like fixed price $300 American for PSA 10 Mothbrion. Like, holy moly, $300 or best offer accepted, but 130point.com said it was $300, so. And then we have some alternate art boxes. So we have the Secret Shadows box, sold for $1,200, one bid in auction. Then the Poncho box sold for $1,275 as a best offer accepted. And there's another Poncho box that sold as a fixed price for $1,439 not in auction, but just as a fixed price. And those are all on December 1st, 2025. On December 4th, there's a hidden rare Piazza Bird, absolutely sweet looking card. PSA 9 for only $103.50. Oh, and as I was making this video, this Wendigo that I was talking about earlier that I can't believe hasn't been picked up yet for $200 or best offer accepted. As I was making this video, it was sold. And on December 3rd, Full Hollow Wendigo from Nightfall, PSA 10, only $21.47 in auction. And holy moly, the Bigfoot hidden rare from base set, PSA 9 for only $76 in auction. 25 Rat King promos for $200. And maybe the best place to end this video is, do you think this card's actually going to get paid for? Because we're seeing these way too often in auction. So sample Mothman Beckett 8.5 for only $841.81. Now if Mothhawk or anyone like that's watching this, must be like, holy moly. And same with this golden ticket, it's up in auction like every week recently, not been paid for. So anyways, comment below and let me know what you think. Will this card and this card, the golden ticket, do you think they're going to get paid for? Or do you think we're going to see these in the next eBay sales video?